In January 1916, America was neutral in World War I, but Secret Service knew German agents aimed to cripple the U.S. munitions industry. They'd already forced confessions from other plotters. All orders and pay came from a shadowy figure known only as Number 859 or von Awald. This man was plotting murder and arson on a wholesale scale. Speed was essential. Get von Awald and get him quick was the order. Dozens of elite agents flooded New York. 40 men were hunting. But von Awald was a ghost. By April, they were skeptical he even existed, seeing him as a myth. Dick Walters, a seasoned agent, returned from an opium hunt out west. His orders? Find von Awald. He tried his own sleuthing, combing Greenwich Village where agents suspected von Awald's headquarters, but weeks of fruitless chasing wore on his nerves. And then he met Mary McNillis. Mary McNillis, a red-headed, blue-eyed Irish beauty. She preferred books to boys, but Dick Walters was different. He frequented her desk at the public library, framing questions just to talk to her. Slowly, imperceptibly, a friendship blossomed. They became good pals. Mary sensed he was on a serious, secret job. Dick couldn't tell her, but promised it was nothing to be ashamed of. Early August. The terrifying Black Tom explosion rocked Jersey City, causing $30 million in damage. This catastrophe was a brutal wake-up call. They found unexploded bombs with a new chemical combination, but no clue where they came from. A very tired, disgusted Dick returned to the library 4 nights later. Dick, desperate and in love, broke protocol and confessed everything to Mary. His identity as a Secret Service agent, his 8 years in the service, and his utter failure to find the German spy. He proposed marriage. As they talked, Mary, now informed, started piecing things together. The man who made the bombs must have had a pretty thorough knowledge of chemistry, and the bomb maker would continue to investigate the subject. He would want to get the latest information, the most recent books. Dick, startled, asked what she was driving at. Mary leaned in, confiding her secret observations about a regular at the library. Up to a month ago, there was a man who dropped into the reference room nearly every day to consult books from shelf 45. Mary, naturally observant, noticed something unique, each of his ears being practically lobeless. One of them was quite pointed at the top, almost like a fox's. Then another man came for a book from shelf 45. He looked different, but Mary got a shock. Neither of his ears had any lobes to speak of, and the top of them was pointed. They were really one and the same. The critical connection. The last time this man came to the library was 2 days before the night you failed to arrive. 2 days before the explosion. And the big reveal. Do you know what books are kept on shelf 45? The latest works on the chemistry of explosives. Dick shot up. Mary, he whispered, I've a hunch that you've succeeded where all the rest of us fell down. Mary remembered the man asked for Professor Stevens' new book on chemistry, which hadn't arrived yet. So, unless you men have scared him off, he'll be back in a day or two, possibly in a new disguise. Her plan, Dick should get a job as an attendant in the reference room, and she'd tip him off the instant she spotted that unchangeable, pointed ear. The next morning, Dick Walters was the new, inconspicuous attendant. 3 tense days passed. On the 3rd afternoon, the man strolled up, asking for Professor Stevens' book. Mary gave the prearranged signal, arranging her hair with her left hand. Dick vanished. The German left the library, taking a bus to an apartment building. Dick followed, signaling to 4 backup agents. Dick confronted the spy in his apartment, using a clever verbal trap. The German went for his hip pocket, but Dick was faster, subduing him in a half Nelson. Reinforcements crashed through a window and arrived at the door. Von Awald was alone, overwhelmed. They found boxes of bombs identical to those from Black Tom. Papers in his desk detailed plans for the Nemours plant in Wilmington, with bomb placement marked. This was number 859, the elusive von Awald. His capture was the reason more German plots didn't succeed. The Treasury Department recognized Mary's brilliance. On the morning of her wedding to Dick Walters, Mary received a handsome chest of silver. The platter was engraved to Miss Mary McNillis, whose cleverness and keen perception saved property valued at millions of dollars. All thanks to the quickness of Mary's Irish eye.